Hi you guys! So today I'm going to be doing a requested video and I'll be having a turkey sandwich for lunch. It's like a little afternoon here, so I'm starving as usual. I'll be having a classic kosher dill pickle with my sandwich. Honestly, these are my favorite to have with sandwiches or burgers and things like that. If I have to have a burger or a sandwich without a pickle, it feels kind of less special. And I've got Poland Spring bottled water, which I'm going to crack into. So, while I'm eating, if I can be not too messy about it, I even put little toothpicks in here to hold it together. I'm going to chat with you guys a little bit about some anime I've been watching recently, outside of rewatching Avatar: The Last Airbender, which kind of borders on the line between cartoons and anime. As you can see, I've got extra key, lettuce, and tomato, and I use mustard for mine. But I've been kind of into a lot of different anime lately. I really look forward to when either Mother's Basement or Giguk do their kind of seasonal reviews of anime, because with that I can find a lot of new anime that I might like. And or I'll watch AMVs while I work out, and if I see something that looks interesting, I'll try to find it based off of grab a napkin real quick here. I'll try to find it based off of the video. So I've been watching on Netflix, outside of Avatar, Baki the Grappler got another season. That show is basically one giant tournament arc in a way. Baki is a pretty intense show if you're interested in fighting, like boxing, martial arts, grappling. That would be something you'd probably be interested in. It's pretty intense with the hits that people take, like they don't hold back with the blood or with like broken bones and things like that. And it's based on a pretty graphic manga as well, but it's pretty interesting. You can tell that the author of the manga in the series really has an appreciation and fascination for fighting techniques and for prominent fighters. It's like each character has their own style. Like there's one style in the tournament arc that's going on right now, where they're in China participating in a Chinese like martial arts tournament. It was originally held just for the Sea Kings, which are, they kind of remind me of the idea of like a Pokemon gym leader, and that they're experts in their field of martial arts. And one fellow is known for the poison hand technique, where apparently in this martial art they soak their hands in poison, and when they hit their opponent they poison them, which can really take them out of the running. It's really fun. Kind of, it's not mindless, but it's kind of just fun if you like watching folks fight. I usually find it pretty motivational when I'm watching, in terms of wanting to work out afterwards, because in each fight they break down the new opponent's fighting style. Like one fellow he was going up against Mr. Olivia. They have kind of a Sergio Olivia kind of tribute character, in terms of the dude's just like huge and jacked, and he's like, his whole thing is his physical strength, being able to overcome any martial arts. And there's a character that decides to fight him, and his martial art focuses on being diamond tough. So they train like getting hit with wooden swords and being hit with chains, and then they'll progress to like letting cars run them over and things like that. Like it's pretty absurd, some of the techniques that get people into fighting shape. But the guy's like, your strength is no match for me. My body has been turned into diamonds. That is the basis of my martial art, is becoming like a diamond. And you could take any amount of impact, any hit, without flinching or feeling it. And I mean, you can kind of tell he's a fodder character, so we have an idea of how that battle is going to go, but it's pretty interesting. And so it's an interesting series. I've read all of the Baki, the Grappler manga that I could find after watching the first season on Netflix. Of the Netflix adaptation of it. It's pretty good. Like I said, it's pretty intense to watch. Like there's some kind of, I wouldn't recommend watching it while eating, but it's a pretty good series. That I've been following is D-Game, which is Darwin's Game, the anime. It's kind of like a junk food anime in that it's really, I like the world building in it. I wouldn't say it's like worthy of becoming like one of the greats anime, but the whole premise of that in Darwin's Game is that it's like a mobile app that you download, and when you start the game, you're given a real life power. It seems to be somewhat based off of what your ancestors were good at. Like the main character gets one where if he comes into contact with a weapon, he can then recreate that weapon, and he kind of has like some spiritual conversations with a past ancestor that was a forge master, so, or that was able to create weaponry and things. So they certainly don't explain every character's backstory or past ancestor that had a skill. Like there's one girl that has a skill called, I think it's Laplace, which is where she's able to see, kind of see a couple seconds into the future, so she can see where things will be in a few seconds, which makes it almost impossible to catch her or shoot her or anything like that, because she'll be able to see where the bullets are going to go, to see where you're going to move. She's really good at marksmanship because she can see your trajectory. That's a pretty cool skill in my opinion. I think I like the show mostly because it's easy. It's a universe that I like to kind of one that people would want to self-insert into to think, like, what skill would I be given? How long would I last in a game like this, where in Darwin's game all of the players are basically competing to kill each other, or to do what they can to win the game, and eliminating other Darwin's game players helps you to do that, so. And there's a lot of money on the line, so some people play it so they can win a lot of cash through the game, either just because they like money, or some characters have reasons, like, I have a really sick relative that needs this very rare medication or treatment, so I'm in it to try to get money for that. So it's a pretty neat little series. I find the main character is pretty likable. I mean, it's kind of another, it's not isekai because he's not transported to another world, but it feels kind of similar because the game has all these supernatural abilities to alter the world. And I like him because he has a pretty big character shift from being pretty altruistic to being pretty like, I gotta do what I gotta do to make sure me and the people I care about get through this. So it's pretty interesting. He's deep enough of a character for him to be fun, and you want him to succeed, and you can kind of relate to him. Another anime that I kind of fell off for a while because it had such a break between the first and second season was Attack on Titan, and I'm getting back into that. For the longest time, like, I watched the first season in college because my roommate got into it, and I was like, wow, my roommate wasn't someone who was usually into anime, so I figured if she got into it, that must be pretty good, and it was pretty good. But I fell off a little bit after the first season, and I decided recently, because I was looking for some manga to read, I was like, oh, I'll go back and check out the manga, see how far they are. And they're pretty darn far. So I decided, you know what, I should go back and give the anime another chance because I've been really enjoying the manga. And it's fun to see the fight scenes animated. An issue that I have with not all manga, but some, is that it's hard to tell the flow of the fight from still panels. I'm having a really hard time with My Hero Academia right now. Because, like, I love the art style, and I love the manga, but I've got to read it, like, 4 times to figure out where the fight is going, and sometimes to find the character in the black ink page. I didn't have that much trouble with Attack on Titan, but it still helps to see it animated, so you can see the flow of the fight and how it's supposed to be. I know they're also coming out with the fourth, I think the fourth or the final season of that, so it's kind of a good time to hop back into it. I think what else I've been into. I tried getting into the Boruto anime, but after we hit some kind of more fillery episodes, I decided to switch over to just reading the manga. It's not that I didn't like the anime, it's just the filler episodes. I really, really like certain characters, and I don't have that much of a feeling towards others, so I was just skipping some of the fillers. And I was like, I'll just go read the manga, which seems to take a bit of a deviation from the anime, or vice versa. Like, one of my favorite characters is Metal Lee, Rock Lee's son. I absolutely adore that character because, I mean, I really like Guy, I really like Rock Lee, and he's just, Metal's just adorable. He's also a pretty anxious little fellow, which I can kind of relate to. Especially at the age that all of those students, that generation of students are. And he gets, it's really cute because Rock Lee has, like, the Drinking Fist is, not necessarily a power-up because it's not like the 8 gates, but it's kind of just like a, I guess, a move where, Rock Lee, if he has, like, any alcohol, he'll get into the Drunken Fist, which is extremely unpredictable and everything like that. And, Metal Lee gets a version of that that doesn't involve any alcohol. It's just he'll get so anxious and scared and, like, almost, like, pass out when he goes into his, like, version, which is, I guess you call it, like, the Anxious Fist or something. But it's really cute to have that as kind of a throwback. So, I haven't watched that anime in a little bit, but I think I might return to it because I'm really enjoying the manga. And the hope of filler episodes with Metal, maybe even with his dad, and if they ever reveal who his mom is, who everyone kind of believes is 1010, but it's not been said canonically that it's 1010. I might go back to watch just for more episodes of that, and once they finally get into the main story. I don't think if there's anything else. The Promised Neverland I haven't been able to watch because they haven't come out with the next season yet. But I've been keeping up with the manga on that. That is a truly incredible anime and manga, in my opinion. I know it might not go down as being, like, one of the top. Like, I think My Hero Academia, Demon Slayer, I think, like, those two are definitely going to go down as, like, some of the most popular of our era. But it's like The Promised Neverland might not have the same following, but I think the quality is incredible. Just the concept, the world building, the kids, each of their personalities, it's just really cool. And they do some twists and turns that I couldn't see coming at all, which isn't, if you've been watching the anime for a pretty long time, you start to predict a lot of the trope kind of curveballs that will get thrown at you. This definitely, I think, surprised most people when they watched it. But yeah, I all done with my sandwich. My cute little, sorry, I have a mess on here, little chicken plate. And I appreciate you folks joining me for lunch and for a bit of a ramble about some manga and some anime. This was the first eating video I've ever done, so definitely leave feedback in the comments if you have any suggestions or any foods you'd like to see me eat. I definitely appreciate that. But I hope you guys have a great rest of your day or night, depending on what time it is that you're watching. And I will see you guys in the next video.